Hello everyone, it's Tani Games here, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with a bit more of a serious video today, so let's talk about moonstones. Now, a lot of amazing creators have already spoken out about this, people like Cozy with Jazz, Sarah, Mr. Star in the Sky, so I doubt anything you hear from me will be new or worded as well as they have done. So do make sure to go check out their videos, I think they are worth the watch. But for now, I think the moonstone cost of items is too expensive, like a lot of other people think. And by that, I don't necessarily mean the cost to buy moonstones in the shop. I think the cost price is similar to what people will pay in other games for their in-game currency. However, and this is a big however, I don't think those moonstones go as far as the equivalent would in alternative games. 3,750 moonstones for a tool reskin is absolutely ridiculous and not worth the cost in my opinion. £15, that is, £15 for a tool reskin. And I just don't know how they can justify the cost. It's a small and minor item, but apparently the tool skins are worth more than an entire new house which you can decorate. Like, I thought the house skins were fairly pricey, but I thought they were worth it. But the scale no longer makes sense in my opinion. The purple cottage came out at about 3,000 moonstones, I believe. Some of the others, again, around the sort of 3,000, 3,700 price point. Apparently these houses, which are all unique individual houses, unique designs and house skins, are worth less than a set of tool recolors. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now, another thing that I want to address is how frustrating it is that in-game there's a bug which implies the Scrooge outfit and the Merlin outfit are going to be released by participating in a special event, when actually that special event is just the premium shop. Now, the Gameloft mods in their official Discord have now said it's a bug. However, I'm incredibly put out by the fact that for a week, people were posting screenshots of this bug and the Gameloft mods did not acknowledge it was a bug until the Scrooge outfit dropped in the premium shop. I think that's a really shady practice to allow a hype to be generated about what people thought was an event coming that actually they knew was a bug. A whole week for them to address that's a bit inexcusable. And hi Olaf, welcome in. Anyway, back to the moonstones. Each week the released items usually cost a total of 7,000 to 9,000 moonstones, which means you either need to buy the huge moonstone pack about 3 weeks out of the month, or the regular and big pack every week. Either way, that's about £100 to £120 spend just for premium shop items. Yes, I'm well aware you don't have to buy every item. However, I think it's very telling that most weeks require you to buy a new pack of moonstones. It is clear the moonstones just don't last. And I think FOMO definitely comes into play. Even though we know the items rotate, as more and more items get introduced, the time between seeing already released items is just going to get longer and longer. And they know that. They're playing on that, which is why there isn't a full shop which shows every item released so far and why they release these items weekly. They are banking quite literally on creating FOMO, encouraging people to make rash and quick spends. We always knew with this game going free to play that microtransactions were going to be a big part. I don't mind if they are. I want to give Gameloft my money. I want to fund the game, as do a lot of other people. But I think it's very important in how they do that. People need to feel like they're getting their money's worth. Otherwise, they're not going to play anymore and they're not going to purchase anything anymore. A big argument I keep hearing is, oh, have you seen how many people involved? How long are those credits? Disney's an expensive IP. I know that. We know that. The credits, to be perfectly honest, are probably the same length as a lot of other games that I've played. I think it's probably just industry standard unless you're a very small indie developer. I'm aware that games, they have a lot of staff. Those staff are often worked to the bone to get content and updates out on time. But if Gameloft aren't going to address the prices, if they're not going to do something, no one's going to be getting paid. If people aren't buying Moonstones, the cash flow is going to stop, and we won't get continuous updates. We won't get more content. They need our money to keep the game going. That's the whole principle. That's how it works. We continue to give money and they continue to give updates. If no one's funding it, there's no more updates. Now, I think there are a lot of ways that this game can earn and make money and leave people happy to part with their hard-earned cash. So let's talk about how we move forward. What I think Gameloft needs to do or can do are just ways that they can keep the microtransaction format that they need to keep this game going without putting off their customers, without annoying the fan base, without annoying effectively the clients. So, firstly, like a lot of people and creators have said, we're not saying to get rid of Moonstones or microtransactions, just allow us to buy more items with those Moonstones, either by lowering the Moonstones for each item, such as making this 3,750 skin bundle for these tool skins cheaper, like making them like 2,000, like the reskins on the critters, which seems like a more applicable, more similar price point. Or just make the bundles a bit more bigger. So I think it's a real shame that we pay 1,200 Moonstones, which is basically £4 or £5, and that doesn't even get us a complete outfit. I logged onto DBD the other day. I can get the latest killer or survivor for that same price. That's a new character, new perks, new way of playing for £5. Why can't Gameloft do something similar? Just give out a full outfit. I'll happily spend a £5 on a new outfit, but I can't justify that cost for 2 donut headbands. That's not worth it. Another way they could get money is I think they could actually sell resources in packs for those that don't want to grind to decorate. Now, this opinion might be controversial, but since it's optional, I think it'd be a great way for people who want to cheat their way ahead. We all know about the new borders situations with paths. I myself have to grind a ridiculous amount of gold to redo my plaza. And I know it sounds bad, but I'd happily pay a £5 to get a big, an emphasis on big, pack of resources like iron, gold, dark wood, things like that. I wouldn't want to pay much for it, but for those who don't have the time to grind, that don't want to do that, this is an easy way for Gameloft to introduce a way to earn for those that want a shortcut in the game. I know this is going to be a controversial opinion. I don't mind paying for select characters. Now, before you bite my head off, I am thinking extended Disney universe characters like Star Wars or Marvel. I don't think Star Wars or Marvel fit into this sort of game, so having them as an add-on pack would allow Gameloft to introduce paid-for characters outside of the main storyline. So I think the main Disney animation film characters should absolutely remain free. They should be completely free. I don't want to pay for Rapunzel, I don't want to pay for Belle, I don't want to pay for Aladdin, but for maybe alternative characters that not everyone's going to want to see in their valley, you know, like Star Wars characters, Marvel characters, Disney Junior characters, have them come as a pack, have them come as an add-on. Like, not everyone's going to want those characters in game, but I wouldn't mind having Anakin Skywalker walking around my valley. I wouldn't mind Bluey coming to the valley. So I think it's a good way to charge for characters without upsetting people, because only people who want those characters and are probably prepared to pay for those characters are going to get them. But I think if you charge for main Disney animation storyline characters, you'll get a lot of upset and out. Now, another option as well, which I've considered, would be to add previous items from the Star Path into the premium shop at a premium price. That way, people are encouraged to buy the Star Path when it drops, but for those who have missed out on previous Star Paths, they can pick up those items. I don't think Gameloft's going to introduce trading like I was kind of hoping, like in similar vein to Animal Crossing. So I think this is a good way to encourage spending into the game. I think a lot of people wouldn't mind paying for the up balloons, you know, paying moonstones for those balloons. But maybe just charge it at a higher price that, again, keeps the Star Path worthwhile. You want people to play the Star Path when it releases and not rely for a later release of items. Again, those items can be staggered, like released later into the shop. A bit of a similar format to what DVD does. They have a rift, and often with that rift are exclusive new items that later get released as something to buy in their store months or years down the line. So I think that's something they could do. I've seen a lot of people mention subscriptions. Now, I'm not entirely sure on this one, if I'm honest. I think it'd be a great way for completionists to get all the items they want, you know, people like me. However, I'm not sure on how the pricing could work in a way that is fair. It's certainly an interesting concept and one that they could consider. But I'm not sure what would be a fair price. Certainly if you add up all the items in the premium shop so far, I think someone calculated it's up to like £400 worth of stuff to buy, absolutely everything. And since the Star Path was released in February, £400 over, well, like 4 months, it's a lot of money. I don't think I'd want to pay £100 a month. But it's something that they could maybe look into. Another idea could be for them to introduce a shop with all the currently released premium shop items. So what I'm saying is that anything that has been released, you can buy at any point. So they don't necessarily update the shop weekly with a selection of 4 items, but just update the shop weekly with a new item or a couple of new items. That way, without this FOMO that's created, people can make more informed choices and purchases. They can choose what to save up their moonstones for. It encourages people to spend only when they have the money, because there isn't that fear of missing out. So that way, the items are always there available to purchase. People can choose to either save up their moonstones that they collect daily for logging in, or they can, you know, buy extra moonstones to buy the items they want. But there isn't that pressure selling that they currently have in place. My last thought on this is also they could do a sale, especially since we're in early access. Do something to encourage us to bulk buy moonstones or make these purchases now. It could also encourage more people to pick up the game now, knowing that the prices would be cheaper now before its full release. I've heard a lot of people say they're waiting for free to play, but if all the news is about how too expensive DDLV is, I don't think Gameloft's going to convince any of those players to pick up the game. I think that at the end of the day, this game is going to be filled with transactions. We know that. But just make sure the consumers feel like they're getting their money's worth. Make them feel like they're being appreciated. Then they're more likely to part with their cash. This game is in early access, and we, the players, are given feedback. Feedback which I hope Gameloft is listening to. We complain. We speak out because we care. We love this game. We want the best for it. We want to enjoy the game and play it for many years to come. So, anyways, if you do want to show support and solidarity, Blondie Crossing, I believe it is, has created a petition which we can sign. I'm going to leave a link for that in the description below. So please do sign if you agree, if you care, even if you can afford the prices. Many of us can't in this cost of living crisis. So anything you can do to help out others if you believe in this, please do sign. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you've got any thoughts on the whole Moonstone drama, let me know in the comments below. I do want to hear them. I do. Fingers crossed something is done about this, because I know it's a loved game for many. I know a lot of people are going to still produce content on the game, myself included. But it may be that if this game does get too expensive, certain things aren't going to be showcased. People aren't going to want to showcase the premium shop each week, things like that. People will get kind of fed up with it, and I can see this game sort of losing its popularity that it currently has. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you all to think on. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.